Hello, and welcome to Gus McDoll Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. I'm Nick McDoll. In this series, we use the missions in the game Firefight to illustrate one or more aspects of World War II infantry tactics at the company level and below. In this campaign, we are playing through the Battle of France as the French, with 8 battles over the course of May and June 1940. Everyone knows about the historical outcome, a French operational and strategic defeat at the hands of the Germans. But I want to see if the French, using historical weapons, tactics and doctrine, can defeat the Germans at the tactical level. In this episode, Bridgehead at Remilly, you must lead your French troops to capture a bridgehead over the river as a base for future operations. The town of Remilly has key bridges over the River Werken and must be captured at all costs. Strong enemy forces have been detected in the area. Each episode, we conduct basic mission analysis, develop and analyse possible courses of action, then decide and execute the plan in real time, followed by lessons learned. Please remember to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And if you want to buy me a coffee, the links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. This is a map of the battle space, overlain with terrain features in red. If you're interested, these maps are available in the game folder. To the north is the town of Remilly and its 2 bridges across the river. The town is nestled between hills either side of the river, including a wooded hill to the west and a bare hill to the east. Southwest of the town is a small village hidden from Remilly by a ridgeline south of the river. The village consists of rows of houses along the main road, which runs from the high ground in the south to a Y junction in a little valley and then on to Remilly. The village sits amongst light woods either side of the road. Southeast of Remilly is an area of open fields, dominated by a large hill overlooking the entire area. The main north-south road goes over the hill to Remilly. The high ground provides good observation of the intervening valleys and roads. The ridgeline, the large hill, and the bare hill cover the entire area, with fields of fire only constrained by woods and buildings. The roads also provide a number of fire lanes with long lines of sight for tanks, anti-tank guns, and machine guns. The town of Remilly provides cover and concealment to the Germans. The open ground to the east provides little cover and concealment. To the west, the ridgeline and large hill provide terrain shielding from Remilly, and extensive woods and buildings provide both cover and concealment in the approaches. The river, running east-west, is fordable by infantry, but is an obstacle to vehicle movement, hence the importance of the bridges. The open ground to the east is an obstacle for infantry movement due to the lack of cover when moving in the open. Finally, the road from the village to Remilly cuts through a valley overlooked by the ridgeline and the large hill, and this valley is a natural choke point and ambush location. Key terrain is the high ground overlooking the town of Remilly and its approaches. Decisive terrain is the ridgeline southwest of Remilly, which overlooks the town, the bridges, the village, and the valley road between them. Control of the ridgeline controls access to Remilly and the bridges. 3 avenues of approach are marked on the map. Unfortunately, I do not know the forces at my disposal until the mission starts. From the last battle, I will assume I have some infantry squads with machine guns, a mortar, and some armour. The first course of action is an attack from the right. Tanks will seize the large hill as a support by fire position. Shielded by the hill, the infantry will move across the fields and through the buildings to the east, working their way into Remilly to seize the bridges. This plan avoids the complex terrain to the west, but the tanks and infantry would be exposed to fire from the bare hill to the north throughout the advance. And it amounts to a frontal attack on Remilly from the east over relatively open ground. The second course of action is to advance on Remilly from the village to the southwest. The French would seize the large hill in the centre as an observation post, and then the ridgeline as a support by fire position. The main body would step off from a forming up point in the village before moving northeast through the valley and into the town to capture the bridges. This plan makes better use of terrain and concealed approaches. Capturing the ridgeline as an intermediate objective would be vital to the second phase of the battle, with the bridges as the primary objective. The third course of action is a variation on the second. The French would seize the large hill in the centre as an observation post, and then the ridgeline as a support by fire position for tanks. The tanks would also provide observation for artillery strikes on German positions in Remilly. With attention focused on the ridgeline, the infantry would slip around to the left, cross the river, and launch an attack on the town from a forming up point in the woods west of the village. This has all the benefits of the second course of action, with the added benefit of surprise. Also, after the last battle, I want to improve my use of artillery to support the infantry and tanks in the attack. Artillery is the weapon of powerful and deep fires. Artillery fire produces moral and material effects ranging from neutralization to destruction of enemy personnel, weapons, and organizations. Let's review our forces using the information panel on the bottom right of the screen. This shows soldier statistics and vehicle controls. Unit 1 is a Renault R35 with a 37mm SA-18 gun and rival machine gun. It is commanded by Sergeant Sanchez. Unit 2 is a Renault R35 with a 37mm SA-18 gun and rival machine gun. It is commanded by Lieutenant Kudek. He is in overall command of the operation. Unit 3 is a Renault R35 with a 37mm SA-18 gun and rival machine gun. It is commanded by Lieutenant Michaud. Unit 4 is an infantry section commanded by Sous-Lieutenant Berger. The section has an FM-24-29 light machine gun, Berthier M1916 carbines, MAS-36 rifles, and grenades. Unit 5 is an infantry section commanded by Sergeant Leconte. Unit 6 is an infantry section commanded by Sous-Lieutenant Nguyen. Unit 7 is an infantry section commanded by Sous-Lieutenant Bidot. Unit 8 is a light mortar team armed with a Brandt Model 1935 60mm mortar with 60 rounds. The team is commanded by Soldat Bob. Unit 9 is an anti-tank rifle team commanded by Caporal Petit. The team is armed with a 55 caliber Boys anti-tank rifle. Let's position our forces for battle. There is the objective. We're going to push some reconnaissance onto the big hill to the east. Sergeant Sanchez's Renault R35 will conduct the reconnaissance. The main body is going to advance through the village to the Y junction. The tanks will seize the high ground to the northeast. Then the infantry will hook left across the river to the forming up point for the assault. In the last episode, French forces advanced on Chateau Marchand. By taking the bridges over Remilly, we are one step closer to pushing the Boche out of France. And so we begin. Sous-Lieutenant Berger's infantry section takes the lead, moving through the village. Sergeant Leconte's infantry section takes position in the trees to their left. Lieutenant Michaud's Renault R35 pushes forward. Sergeant Sanchez's Renault R35 cautiously advances to the hill. The tank will stay behind the terrain as it moves into position. Sous-Lieutenant Noyen's section advances across the road to cover the left flank. The tanks push forward. Sanchez's Renault also moves forward, still behind the ridgeline. He is looking for Germans on the hills to the north. Sheep dot the tranquil fields to the north. No sign of Germans on the high ground. The Renault crests the ridgeline. I am expecting contact at any moment. On the left flank, the company advances cautiously through the village. Some teams advance while others provide overwatch. Sergeant Leconte's section advances on the left side of the street. Sous-Lieutenant Nguyen's section now moves through the woods to the left flank. Sous-Lieutenant Bidot's section brings up the rear. Sous-Lieutenant Berger's section takes the right-hand side of the street. Sergeant Leconte's section takes the left-hand side. Berger takes position to cover the Y junction. Michaud's R35 moves up to the Y junction. Bidot moves up to the Y junction. Lecointe moves forward on the left. A lot of broken windows for some reason. Caporal Petit moves the anti-tank team up to the Y-junction. The French now control the Y-junction intermediate objective. Still, no sign of the Germans. Time to cross the road and move to the next objective. Sous-Lieutenant Noyen moves up on the left to cover down the road. Bridgehead moves east to cover down the road. Reinforcements have arrived. 2 more Renault R35. Bideau takes over the crossroads. Let's review the reinforcements. Unit 10 is a Renault R35 with a 37mm SA-18 gun and rival machine gun. It is commanded by Sergeant Bazin. Unit 11 is also a Renault R35 with a 37mm SA-18 gun and rival machine gun. It is commanded by Sergeant Pierron. Both tanks move forward to support the push on the next objective. Still no sign of the Germans. Sergeant Sanchez has not detected any German presence on the hills to the north. This might mean the Germans are waiting in the low ground, using roads as fire lanes. Sanchez pushes forward. Where are they? Bideau pushes across the road. The tanks move up to the crossroads. Pathfinding is a bit of an issue, and Lieutenant Coderc moves out of the way. But not in time to prevent a bit of unplanned demolition. Michaud's Renault pushes west. Coderc's Renault pushes east. The French now have a strong linear formation for the next advance. Michaud and Bazin move up to the support by fire position from the rear, through the buildings to the west. Berger's section cross the road. Sanchez has not observed any Germans. It is time to move on. Michaud moves forward. The entire French company is masked from observation from the town of Remilly by the ridge line to the north. Noyen prepares to move off to the left. Leconte also moves up to clear the buildings. Sanchez moves up the hill. Contact, infantry! Soldat Jacquet is wounded by a ricochet bullet in the left leg. The French put down a huge weight of fire. This is the strength of the linear formation. Germans surrender as Lacan moves forward. More Germans in the buildings opposite. Unknown troops in the town. The light mortar opens a fire mission from 315 meters.
Open fire!
Lacan assaults forward. The mortar fires another adjusting round. Right and over. Soldats Lebas and Pichard are killed by a grenade blast. The next mortar round lands online and short. Nguyen moves up to outflank the Germans. Leconte assaults forward. The mortar moves to fire for effect. The rounds land effectively. The Germans are defeated and the area is secure. albeit at the cost of 2 dead and 1 wounded. On the right flank, the infantry extend their perimeter. Sanchez moves along the ridge, looking for the Germans. Michaud advances his Renault R35 just short of the ridgeline. Sous-Lieutenant Nguyen moves his infantry section up to the river on the left, ready to cross. Sergeant Bazin's Renault remains in overwatch as Nguyen's troops cross the open ground. Bazin moves up. This is a good time to pause the action for now and come back to the battle in the next episode. The local sheep have paid a heavy price for the firefight. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.